Hey everyone. Yesterday I posted up a video. I sort of just jumped straight in there and told you a bit about the company that I've joined and the business opportunity. But I feel like before I joined that, or before I told you that, I should have told you a bit about why I've done it. Um, Not a lot of people would join a company that didn't know how they were going to get paid, how much they were going to get paid, company's name, or what they were selling. But the time was right for me because I've been, I've had a lot of shit going on in my life. Um, I'll tell you a bit about it. I don't want anybody feeling sorry for me or anything like that. I hate that. I just thought I would explain myself. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there in my situation, in my position, that's going through the same shit as me. Um, Basically, when I was 18, I moved away from home with my eldest daughter's dad. Um, I told my mum and dad I was leaving, and my dad laughed at me, and he said, "Oh, where are you going next door?" And they thought that I would move around the corner, or they really didn't think I was going. They says, "Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just tell me when your bags is packed, and we'll help you move." So I basically booked flights, little did I know, and I came downstairs and I says, um, "I'm moving over to England." And they were shocked because they were expecting me to move around the corner or up the road or, somewhere near that they could visit. That day I left home was the hardest day of my life. My dad took me to the airport, and I I was so strong, and I I held all my emotions and I held all my tears in, um and said goodbye to him, and made him think that I was okay going. And but the minute I walked through the airport doors, through security, um, and them doors closed, I sat down and I cried my eyes out. I absolutely broke into tears, and he actually left me instead of telling me, because I know how much I hurt him for me to leave. But I opened my bag and there was a wee note in my bag, and um, there was a note in my bag, and he was basically just telling me to be strong, and I'll be fine, and all the rest of it. I also, so basically I left my mum and my dad and my wee brother, and my wee brother was what was like a twin to me, and even though there was like 3.5, 4 years difference in us, he, all the two of us was just like, just twins, so close, really, really close. So I moved to England anyway, and then while I was in England, my mum and dad decided to get up and move to France. They didn't want to move to France until my wee brother had um, finished his school, and my dad says to him, like, "We're going to move to France. What do you think about moving to France, or when, like, I retire, or when you finish school?" And he actually said, "Well, why wait to then? Let's go now." Um, so it was actually him that said, "Well, let's go." He wanted to go, and my mum and dad, they went over, looked at houses, bought a house, and moved over. And at that time, I was still living in um, at that time, I was still living in England, and then I went to visit absolutely beautiful place where they moved to. Um, and then I ended up moving to Germany. Um, I lived in Germany for, I don't know, I think it was about 4 or 5 years. I have my wee girl there, my eldest, she's 11 now. And one day while we were there, my wee brother was a local fireman and a paramedic for our local town in France. And he had made a life for himself. He was 21 years old. He had loads of friends, and I spoke to him on video all the time. I spoke to him um, at night when he had friends in. He was partying, he was laughing, he was just enjoying himself. And one morning I woke up and I just felt like something was wrong. Like I just knew something was wrong. And my mum said, she phoned me and says, Tony, have you heard from Jamie last night? And I says, yeah, I was talking to him. And I says, but haven't heard from him since. And I was actually supposed to book him flights to come and see me in Germany and stay for Easter. I didn't book him the flights because he wanted to stay and work, and he started up a business with my dad, and they were busy, and he didn't come and visit me. So that morning I got a phone call, and it was the worst phone call of my life. My dad says, come quick. And I just fell to the floor and broke down in tears. And basically my wee brother died of carbon monoxide poisoning. Um, it was just a silly accident he had at home. So I jumped in the car and I drove 19 hours to get there. And it was the worst journey that I've ever had to do. Sorry. When I got there, obviously I had to do funerals and stuff, and I left, and I had to go back to Germany because I left my wee girl with a friend. I didn't want to bring her down to be in that sort of environment. Everybody's sad, and so I went back to Germany, and I was only back a few weeks, and I said, I need to be in France with my mum and dad. They're on their own now because it was only me and him. So I booked a removal company, and I said to my husband that I'll go and stay with my mum and dad while he was away at work. He was going away for 9 months. And I went expecting to sort of either move back to Germany or for my husband to come and visit and come at weekends, or just try and live like that so I could be with my mum and dad. Basically, when something happens or you lose someone you love in your family, people say that it either brings you closer together or pulls you apart. Well, in this situation, it absolutely destroyed my whole family. It pulled us all apart. Me and my husband split up, divorced now. My mum and dad was ripped apart. My mum ended up ill and not well and couldn't cope with losing her son. So I stayed strong for both of them, and my wee girl. If it wasn't for my wee girl, I don't know where I'd be now. My mum moved back to Ireland a few years ago to be with her sisters and her mum, and she had loads of family. And it was the best thing for her to do because where we lived in France, it was very rural, and she didn't really go out much, and she needed to be around family. And my dad's still there, but last year I decided to move back to Ireland as well. with my two other kids who whose daddy is a Frenchman. He actually was friends with my wee brother, and he worked in the same fire brigade and paramedics with him. That's just, I don't know, that's how it worked. I ended up meeting him, and I've got two beautiful kids to him, and he moved back to Ireland with me, not knowing the language or not knowing if he could get a job and not having any friends, and um, everything just fell into place when we got back. He got a job within a few days of being here. I tried to get on with things and settle the kids into their new schools, and um, I, I lived in the place that I lived when I got home was a nightmare because it was just full of students, and they partied all night every night, and I had I was young once too, and I used to party, but I had students at my door at 5 o'clock in the morning asking me to give them lifts home, but they didn't even know where they lived because they had just came to university and they didn't know their way around yet. Um, so I had to leave there because my kids weren't sleeping. They were up all night with the music. They were tired going to school. I moved. I got a job, and then with my wee boy suffers with tonsillitis. Um, but this time he took tonsillitis really bad. It wasn't just a tonsillitis, it was tonsillitis with a chest infection and ear infection. They put him on a nebulizer. I was in hospital 3, 4 times in the same week. Um, he ended up sick for like 3 weeks. He was on 4 courses of antibiotics. I ended up being off work. The doctor signed me off because I hadn't been sleeping. I'd been looking after him. And she actually wrote on it anxiety, which I sort of thought nothing of it. And I thought, I don't have anxiety. I couldn't get anxiety. I'm too strong for that. Um, then it came to the point where my sick note was up and I was due back to work. When I started thinking about going back to work, my heart was going a mile a minute. Um, I started shaking. I felt sick, physically sick, like I wanted to throw up. Like I couldn't leave the house, and I just felt so unwell. So back to the doctors, and the doctor signed me off again. Um, she actually put down depression and anxiety. But I couldn't believe that she was writing this on a sick note and thinking, how can this be for me? I'm too strong for all this. I can't have this. I've got kids. I'm the most laid back, easygoing, chilled out person there is, and we'll just get on with things. But guess what? I'm not. At the minute, I'm just a total wreck. And so this is where Ivera comes in, because I have been at home now for 5, 6 weeks, and I my head is just turning, just thinking about everything, just going a mile a minute. And I thought, well, try and do something to keep you busy. And some girl on my Facebook posted up this thing saying, do you want to join a new business? And I said, well, what is it? There was no name, there was no conversation plan, no products. So didn't know who I was working for, didn't know how I was going to get paid, because I still have to feed my kids. And I thought, well, why not? And I just thought of Avon, Unique, FM, all them companies, they all start it like this. They all start it in the exact same way. And look how big they are now. And that's what made me think, just go for it, take a chance, do it. I paid £7 to join. That gave me a website. I was able to start straight away. I was able to get on my phone, start messaging people, talking to people. I got into a great team of people from Avera, and I've made some really good friends. And I'm so glad I did, because now I have something else to think about. I have something else to do. I have something else to keep me busy. Um, and that's why I said in my last video, follow me and follow my journey, because it's all new for me too. And I don't know where this is going to take me. But I'm in from the very beginning. Already I've got a great team. Our products is going to launch very soon. Could launch tomorrow, next week, but definitely around Christmas. And I'm so excited for that to launch. I'm sorry about my explanation of my shit life, but I'm sure this will touch a lot of people, and I'm sure there's a lot of people in the same place as me. If yous are in the same place as me and want to get back to normal and want to just make friends that you can just talk to over the phone, you don't have to go out, and you can still earn money, send me a message and I can help. And also you'd be helping me, because we'd be in this together, and I know where you'd be coming from and why you're doing it, and we have great mentors and great team members, and they're all help everybody to succeed. I would really like if you could just hit the follow button, like this video, or subscribe, whatever. But please follow my journey, because I'm excited to see where this is going to take me. And I would like to show you all too, even in 2 months' time, 4 months' time, 8 months, a year. But I will stick at this and I will keep doing it. And I hope that I will become a great big team leader in the company. And I will show you just how easy it is to do. Hit follow. Oh, my battery's just about to die. Hit follow and speak soon. Keep watching. Bye.